I'm back again. Hey everyone, Templar74 here with another Yu-Gi-Oh video, and today's Yu-Gi-Oh video is going to be my review of the latest episode of Yu-Gi-Oh! 7's episode 18, Sorry Gita-chan, Get a Chance. And I gotta be honest with you guys, I really enjoyed this episode. This episode was a breath of fresh air after the weird-ass episode last week. I really enjoyed this episode, and I actually did have my attention focused on this episode through the whole thing, which was also a plus. Like I said, considering the weird-ass episode last week, this episode was a breath of fresh air. We got to see Roa return and a brief glimpse down his new road. And yeah, Roa has changed a little bit here since we've seen him last. And we'll talk about all of this soon enough. So at risk of further rambling, let's move on to the actual episode. So the episode begins with Roa, and he's having this duel in his childhood. It's a flashback here, and Roa ultimately doesn't return to fulfill a promise to duel again. And it's kind of a foreshadow for this episode here as we go back to Yuga and the gang. They're at Yuga's workshop trying to figure out what to do about Kaizo. And ultimately, Yuga's got a plan for Kaizo. Ultimately, if he can't fix Kaizo, he'll reset him. Something Kaizo's not happy about, but it's Yuga's plan. So yeah, Yuga's got a plan for him regardless. That kid always has a plan. And then we get our attention focused back to Neil and this Garden of Providence and figuring out what's going on with that. And of course, they're also keeping in the back of their mind that if they lose 6 times, their duel accounts are terminated. So it's nice to see, even with the rush dueling concept here, that they still kept that, because it adds a bit of suspense on here, and it adds kind of the drive to win, if you know what I mean. Ultimate episodes, series past, the ultimate drive to win was gaining the powerful monster, or losing your life, or losing a war, or whatever. This time it's getting your duel accounts terminated. A little bit more lighthearted compared to Yu-Gi-Oh's past, which, is okay, and I like that. But ultimately it gives you something to be suspenseful for. So with that, though, Yuga decides to find some answers, and he begins by looking at where he found the dual relic to begin with, where they first met Otis, following Otis's words that a new path will open, or a new road will open, and they're starting where it all began to look for some clues on maybe what Otis said will help them get back Kaizo. And when they arrive here, it's funny because Roman actually gets a call from Roa asking if she can come over, and she's like, I'm a little bit busy at the moment here. And ultimately the gang ends up back in the underground of the city here, where they run into Yushiro, who used to be a member of Roa and Roman's band here. And Yushiro has decided he's going his own way. He's disappointed, or he's angry with Roman and Roa, and he's just had it. He's going his own way here. He's going solo. And the bad Elvis gig, I mean, really, this kid looks like the poor man's Elvis. He looks like the redneck Elvis, let's be honest. But anyway here, he's ultimately decided he's going his own way. But before Yuga can challenge him to a duel, we end up seeing Roa again. And Roa comes in, and Roa is like, no, I'll duel him. And so, yeah, Roa is going to duel Yushiro, and they end up getting the duel underway, and these two actually square off pretty well. They know each other really well, they know their strategies really well, and it's kind of tit for tat here. However, Yushiro has the upper hand with a trap card called Thunderbeat Gang, which essentially this card will save his life points from destruction, and it's a trap he uses a couple times in this duel here, and he's even got that up his sleeve for when Roa ultimately has to make the last move here. However, Roa ends up winning the duel with his new ace, Royal Demon Invasion. I loved this monster, and I also loved how they were playing Roa's song in the background when he's dueling here. It really gives you the vibe on how much Roa has changed. And yeah, Royal Demon Invasion, its design just looks slick, and it has a new ability called Backstage Pass to Hell, which essentially destroys all of Yushiro's monsters that he's already got out on the field, which clears the way for a direct attack from Roa. Brutal and OP ability, enough said on that. I am so glad that Rush Dueling is not like the Master Rule Dueling here, because I'm pretty sure this card would end up on the ban list for an effect like that. But anyway, I digress on that. Anyway, Royal Demon Invasion, Roa's new ace, ultimately saves the day. He wins the duel, and Yushiro actually ends up falling into this pit, or so we say. He ends up in this big hole that opens up under him, and he starts to fall, but Roa runs to his rescue, and he's trying to save Yushiro. And it's funny because Yushiro and Roa were the two that were dueling at the very beginning of the episode here, and Yushiro decides that he doesn't want Roa to save him this time, and he lets go and falls into this abyss here, and the episode leaves off with Roa essentially taking his leave from the group. No more words are really said. So that was really powerful too, and I loved that. So yeah, that was essentially the episode. Like I said, this episode was really great. I loved the duel. This episode had me invested. We learned a little bit more about Roa and his new road here, which is also nice. I really think the only thing negative I have to say about this episode is Roa jumping in. While I understand the motivation behind it, is kind of taking the spotlight away from the main characters where it should be, but that's just a little minor gripe. I can overlook that for the sake of this episode. I'll be honest, after last week's episode, I'm willing to overlook that, so it doesn't really hurt the episode that much, in my opinion. But yeah, with that said, everybody, overall, my thoughts on the episode, it was a great episode compared to last week. I loved this episode. Royal Demon Invasion looked sick. Overall, I give this episode an 8 out of 10. I really did enjoy this episode here. Like I said, really my only major gripe after last week's episode really isn't a gripe at all. So, yeah, that's that. Anyway, everybody, those were my thoughts on the episode. And as always, in the comments section down below, let me know what your guys' thoughts were about this week's episode. Did you love it? Did you hate it? Did you think it was just there? What were your thoughts? Just let me know in the comments section down below. Because as always, I enjoy hearing from you. Alright everyone, as always, Templar74 signing off. Have a great day everybody, and I'll talk to you all next time. Goodbye everybody. Hey everyone, Templar74 here. Did you enjoy the video? Do you want to help support me in making more content like this and see your name here at the end of every video? Then consider supporting me on Patreon. Any help is greatly appreciated and will help ensure continuation and increase the quality of production of the videos that I'm able to make for all of you. Link down below. Again, thank you so much for your support and for liking and subscribing. You all are amazing. And as always, everyone, Templar74 signing off. Have a great day, everybody, and I'll talk to you all next time. Goodbye, everybody.